What's up, Heat Nation? Ernest here, back with another Miami Heat Talk video. Happy Saturday, you guys. Hope everyone's having a beautiful Thanksgiving weekend. Before we get started, please take a moment, smash the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Got some things I want to talk about today, you guys, so off we go on another Miami Heat Talk adventure. Wish today was a happier day in a way for the Heat, guys. As I'm sure most of you saw last night, you lose to the New York Knicks 100-98. Huge heartbreaker. Not just because we lose the game, it's the way that we lose the game. You know, you're up by 21 points. That's one thing we've seen about this Miami Heat team all season long. Even though, you know, we're sitting at a 10-6 record, a lot of these losses came from huge leads that we had. You know, you start a 22-1 run against the Chicago Bulls last Saturday, and then you lose that game. You know, you have a 21-point lead against the Knicks yesterday. You lose that one. You know, the Heat, Josh Richardson hits a three-pointer with 3:50 left. You're up by 9 in the fourth quarter, and you lose that. You know, the Heat have struggled a lot of these games in the fourth quarter that we lost. Games like New York, games like Chicago, games like Brooklyn. These are 3 games that we've lost this season that we should not have lost. The Heat should be sitting with a 13-3 record right now. And the reason why you don't have that 13-3 record is because these 3 losses that you had against Brooklyn, New York, and Chicago are games you shouldn't have lost. The fourth quarter, it seems like in these 3 different games, the Heat have just taken their foot off the gas. And you know, that happens sometimes. I understand that. And this is the NBA. I've said this before. This is the best of the best. You could be up by 20, 30 points. But in the NBA, with the most skilled basketball players in the world, they can create a run. Especially the way the game is ran today with the increasement of a 3-point shot. A team can turn a 20-point lead and change it like that. So that's what happened yesterday. The Heat had a comfortable lead. They got complacent and they lost it. So that's really what I saw that happen. You know, the fourth quarter, you get outscored 29-11. That's a joke. That's a joke. The Heat lost that game. New York didn't win it. The Heat lost that one, in my opinion. You know, but you're down by 2 points, and then what do? You go to your guy Jimmy for the 3-point shot. He misses it. I get that. You know, Jimmy Butler has missed a lot of those huge game-winning 3-point shots. When Jimmy goes for it, he does miss them. Not all the time, but, you know, when he took that shot, didn't even look good. But I'm confident in Jimmy Butler. Whenever the Heat are down by 2 and you want to go for a game winner, I'm always going to be comfortable going with Jimmy Butler. I'm never going to doubt that shot. Jimmy Butler even said it. He's always going to go for the win. Given another opportunity, he'll make it. So, nothing bad about this game, you guys. Nothing to get mad about. No panic button to hit. Nothing like that. It's just a loss. Regroup. Move forward. You got a game against Brooklyn today. Definitely got to get that dub. Definitely got to win today. With the back-and-back games, you guys, I know it was realistic. We might have lost one. I get that. But yesterday, you go full in with your players and you lose. Today, I think a few players may not play. You know, yesterday, Kyle Lowry, Jimmy Butler, and Kevin Love played yesterday against New York. The Heat were trying to win that one. So today, you may see some of those guys not play. That's a possibility. And yesterday's game, you lose by 2 points. And we didn't have 2 of our best offensive players out there. Tyler Herro and Duncan Robinson were in play. And we lost by 2. We had a 21-point lead. I'm very confident with this Miami Heat team, you guys. I know this was just a bad night at the office, but tonight we're gonna close them out, get Brooklyn. I hope Duncan Robinson plays. Apparently he's got a thumb injury. I don't think it's anything serious, but it's something that they're monitoring. Now let's go back to yesterday's game because a few things I wanna talk about. You get productiveness from your 2 stars. You know, Jimmy Butler gives you 23 points on 37 minutes. Bam Adebayo, who plays this game, gives you 21 points, 12 rebounds. Solid performances. You get 15 points from Josh Richardson. He started in place of Duncan Robinson. Quality minutes, 5 for 10 for the field. He gives you 2 3-point shots. Kyle Lowry, again, productive as the starting point guard. 33 minutes, he gives you 10 points, 8 assists, 2 steals. 8 rebounds, 2 assists. Kyle Lowry, again, Mr. Dependable out there. It looks like, you guys, that Erik Spoelstra is going to continue to go with Kyle Lowry as the starting point guard. I know we've talked about different possibilities. Kyle Lowry is proving that he can do it. And unless the Heat make an upgrade as far as the trade goes, and the fact that Drew Smith is out for the year, unfortunately, with that ankle injury, Kyle Lowry's the only point guard we have, technically. So I think Erik Spoelstra just trusts Kyle Lowry out there. Given the fact that he's 37, he'll be 38 this year. I think Spoelstra is good with that. You know, you look at a guy like Kyle Lowry, you think Chris Paul. So I'm fine with that. I mean, I know come playoff time, you're going to get some of the best point guards out there. It's better to have an upgrade, but it is what it is. Another thing I want to talk about, you guys, Jaime Jaquez and Caleb Martin. So both of these guys have been playing together recently, and it looks like that Jaime Jaquez is taking Caleb Martin's role. Now, what was one thing I said going into the season? Caleb Martin is going to be our sixth man. He's going to be the Swiss Army knife that comes off the bench, but I also called Jaime Jaquez a Swiss Army knife. These are two guys that play very similar games. Since the beginning of the season, Jaime Jaquez has been trusted on more and more by Erik Spoelstra. Last night, Jaime Jaquez off the bench, 35 minutes, 15 points, 6 for 17, 1 for 6 for threes, which is terrible. But 15 minutes, again, solid play. Caleb Martin, 18 minutes, 2 points, 1 for 5 for the field. I know Caleb Martin is coming back from an injury, but if there's one thing that we've noticed about Erik Spoelstra, when somebody's hot, he's going to stick with that guy. Erik Spoelstra does not care about who's making what on this team, where their where they stand on the team. Erik Spoelstra doesn't care. If a guy's playing better, he's going to play them. And we've seen that multiple times recently. Gabe Vincent takes Kyle Lowry starting minutes. Max Strus takes Duncan Robinson starting minutes. We saw in the 2022 playoffs, the Miami Heat starting backcourt were 2 undrafted players. Haywood Highsmith takes Kevin Love's starting power forward position this year. Erik Spoelstra don't care about how much money you're making on this team. He goes with who's hot. Jaime Jaquez has been the sixth man this season, and I don't think that's going to change. Jaime Jaquez has been very dependable, and even though he's a rookie, he's been playing like he's been in the NBA for years. So this is something to keep on our eye on, you guys. This is something we definitely want to look at moving forward, because here's the thing. I mean, before I move forward, you got Kevin Love as the backup center now, who's giving you 18 quality minutes, 7 points, and 6 rebounds. So the point that I'm trying to get to, you guys, is with Caleb Martin and Jaime Jaquez moving forward, Spoelstra's going to have to make a decision. Because next week, Tyler Herro is coming back, I believe. He's off the walking boot. I know he's working on his game. I believe that Tyler Herro's coming back next week. He may be coming back against the Milwaukee Bucks. I'm predicting that. That's a big game. That's a TNT game. I think Tyler Herro may be coming back. It may be another week. But here's my question. Because last night we saw Erik Spoelstra run with an 8-man rotation. Yes, Cole Swider got 6 minutes, but didn't really do anything. It was really 8 men that Spoelstra was running. Erik Spoelstra really likes to keep an 8 to 9 man rotation. When Tyler Herro comes back next week, you guys, you're going to have 10 players on roster that get normal rotation minutes from Spoelstra. How is Erik Spoelstra going to do this? How is Erik Spoelstra going to not only mix in breakout players from this season, but also guys that are making a lot of money? And also guys that are on expiring contracts. Let's go over this, shall we? Because when Tyler Herro comes back, is Tyler Herro getting his starting spot? Or is Duncan Robinson keeping it? So this is a question I want to pose to you guys, and this is something that I'm really fascinated on. Because we've seen a lot of different starting lineups going into this season. You've seen a Kyle Lowry, Tyler Herro starting backcourt. You've seen a Kyle Lowry, Duncan Robinson starting backcourt. But we've also talked about a Tyler Herro and Josh Richardson starting backcourt. So and I've even mentioned going with the starting backcourt of Caleb Martin and Duncan Robinson. So you have a lot of possibilities. So here's what I think is going to happen. Tyler Herro's going to come back. Tyler Herro's going to want to be the starting shooting guard. If you ask me, you guys, Tyler Herro's perfect spot on this team is being the sixth man off the bench alongside Jaime Jaquez. I believe that if you have a starting lineup of Kyle Lowry, Duncan Robinson, Jimmy Butler, Haywood Highsmith, and Bam Adebayo, that's your best option moving forward. Not because those are the best 5 players right now, but because on paper, this starting 5-man roster has won the most games on this Miami Heat team. It's been the best starting lineup we've put out there. Those are just the numbers, and that's just the facts. If you put that starting 5 out there with Tyler Herro, Jaime Jaquez, Josh Richardson, Caleb Martin, and Kevin Love coming off the bench, that is 2 different starting lineups in the NBA. You have 10 very playable players. But this goes back to what I just spoke about. I don't think Erik Spoelstra is going to play a 10-man rotation. I think Erik Spoelstra is going to go with a 9-man rotation. So somebody on this 10-man rotation that I just said is going to have to eat shit. Now the question is, who's it going to be? Most likely, Haywood Highsmith. Most likely, it looks like Caleb Martin or Jaime Jaquez will eventually take that starting 4 position. Haywood Highsmith will go back to the bench to wait for his opportunity. Because if you want me to be honest, you guys, Kevin Love and Haywood Highsmith were playing that position, but it was Caleb Martin's to take. Or Nikola Jovic. Jovic hasn't been playing, but we've seen the emergence of Jaquez. So it's possible, you guys, that Jaime Jaquez, the second half of the season, could be the starting power forward. It could also be Caleb Martin, or it could still be Haywood Highsmith. Haywood Highsmith, I mean, look, last night, Haywood Highsmith, he gives you 24 minutes starting, 5 points, 1 for 6 for the field, 1 for 5 for 3. But the things that Haywood Highsmith doesn't show in the box score. That's why he's an amazing player out there, because every time he plays on the plus-minus percentage, he's always a plus. He's dangerous to have out there on the defensive end. Guys like Haywood Highsmith and Caleb Martin, that's what their best quality is on this team. Caleb Martin is still finding his way on this team, you guys. But we have 10 players right now that are playable players in the NBA, that are playable players on this team, and that are in the rotation. So this is going to be interesting for Erik Spoelstra. And not forget, you still have guys like Nikola Jovic, Cole Swider, RJ Hampton. You still have guys that can produce on this team and give you value. Hell, Thomas Bryant. The other day when Bam Adebayo didn't play, Thomas Bryant showed that he was quality. Orlando Robinson showed you he can give you quality minutes. But right now, and I've mentioned this in the comments, Thomas Bryant is basically playing a backup fiddle to Kevin Love. Erik Spoelstra tried Thomas Bryant in the beginning of the season as the backup 5, playing with Kevin Love as the starting power forward. He switched it. Haywood Highsmith took that spot. So Thomas Bryant lost his minutes, and now it's for Kevin Love. So this right here, you guys, is my perfect scenario. You got Lowry and Robinson, Butler, Highsmith, and Bam Adebayo starting. Tyler Herro, Jaime Jaquez, and Caleb Martin are your 3 guys coming off the bench. Kevin Love continues to do what he does, give you 12 to 18 minutes off the bench as a backup center to hit threes. Now, Josh Richardson, that's the other guy. What do you do with him? Josh Richardson still should get his quality minutes. So this is what I'm posing, you guys. This is the really interesting out there. The really interesting thing out there. You got 10 guys that are deserving of this position. Do you play all 10? Or do you feel that one of them is going to eat crap? It may be Highsmith. It may be Caleb Martin. It may be Josh Richardson. It may be Kevin Love. We don't know. That's going to be the interesting thing seeing moving forward. And let's not forget, you guys, the fact that these certain Miami Heat players are stepping up, the fact that Jaime Jaquez has stepped up into the 6-man role, does that mean that now Caleb Martin's contract is tradable? Let's not forget what Caleb Martin did last year in the Eastern Conference Finals. He is a tradable asset. If you can take a Caleb Martin, Nikola Jovic, future first-round draft picks, and get a player that can help this team win now, a player that can possibly play like a starting point guard position, that's something to look into as well. Jaime Jaquez and Haywood Highsmith are the breakouts of this team because these are two guys that you didn't expect doing this on this team. And the fact that they're playing this well is giving Miami Heat different options. So and let's not forget one more thing, you guys, because a date to look at, December 15th, that is when players that we've signed this offseason and other NBA teams, that's when contracts become tradable. Right now, the NBA teams, they're feeling their teams out. They're seeing how this system works because starting December 15th, you can start making some trades. That's when things are going to get really interesting for this Miami Heat roster. So that's why I ask you guys, let me know in the comments, who do you think is going to get more playing time moving forward? Do you think these 10 players I just named are all going to be in rotation? Or do you think someone is going to lose minutes? Haywood Highsmith, Caleb Martin, Kevin Love, Josh Richardson. Do you think any of these guys are at risk moving forward? And who do you think is going to be the starting backcourt moving forward? Would you like to see Kyle Lowry still in the starting position with either Duncan Robinson or Tyler Herro? Or maybe you would like to see Tyler Herro and Duncan Robinson start in the backcourt. Have Miami Heat try something a little bit different. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe. Help me get to the 3,000 subscriber mark, you guys. We are getting close there. Once we get there, I'll do a little gift for y'all. Thank you for the love and support. Enjoy your weekend. And until next time, your boy Ernest out. That's enough said. Let's go, Heat.